Hello, this is Konstantin Papageorge again. This video has dual purpose, both to wrap up and finish with the Tennis Digital Method Coach Development course, which I provide now for free in YouTube for various reasons I explain in README. So this is at the end. It will be positioned at the end here, and it will also be the first video in another course, a mini course I will create about the flex lock idea I have presented recently, quite recently, and because it's a very novel concept and it requires special attention and it's a bit dangerous if you cannot fully grasp it. I don't want to give it for free, and basically I actually want to teach it live mostly, so the course is just to have an idea about what is it, why is it so important. So this will be at the end of this. So you should have watched all the videos because I won't be explaining again all the concepts presented here. But it will also be the first video of the other course, a very cheap and a very short course, mainly for those who want to deepen their understanding and want to give something back for all this work I have done and provide for free. Also check the other videos, the other courses I provide for free from now on in YouTube. And I will also be explaining here a bit of the vision as it has been adapted in the last few years. So, a small PowerPoint presentation where basically what I want to explain in this presentation is where the digital method is now. Okay. So I have referred to the types of expertises that exist. Okay, the expert specialist, which is the most well-known one, and the expert generalist one. I explain more in this paper, and you should know that the digital method is mostly based on this notion of expertise. I want also to provide a more clear understanding of the difference between experience and surveillance. Surveillance is a term we have introduced, of course. Experience is from phenomena to theories used in applied science, so to speak, and it creates the experiential reality. So there are many epistemological problems with going from observation to theory. Actually, this is not a good way to do it. From the observation to the cause, not a good way. Surveillance is from theory to phenomena and is the basis of episteme, and it creates a surveillance reality, the reality we use in episteme, which should have been science actually, but that's another story. So the digital method, we have a vision, two types of vision, an external and an internal one, which I will not refer to. The external vision is sustainable, world-class tennis motor experts in tennis. Okay, so you should care about the external vision actually now. So this is a vision. The tools I will show you next, and through these tools, through the vision, create the tennis players. Vision is the most important aspect always, not intentions. I keep repeating that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, so the vision matters. So because digital method is a new paradigm, it has its own basic ontology, which means it has its own basic terminology, its own basic terms that are unique to the digital method. For example, this is more or less a complete list. I don't know if I have forgotten one or two things, but anyway, so the proximal distal causes, the continuous adaptations and non-continuous varieties, boundary conditions, meta observation, meta instruction, technical form and technical style, playing prospect, and flex lock, which we will be seeing. Meta observation is, of course, when you observe someone and you don't see what is happening right there, but you have an idea of what you want to happen in the future, in the distal future, for the distal adaptations. So you see what he does and the effect it has in the future. So your concern is not like, you should move your hand faster. I mean, that's BS, as I've said again and again, bullshit. You should see the distal causes of development, and you should see elements in what someone does related to the distal causes. And meta instruction is instructing someone having in mind the distal adaptations and not the immediate results, as always. Okay. Playing prospect this is actually implicitly explained in the Russian school. So it's like being able to, at any given point, visualize your next steps, like you play in your mind the very next seconds, like you're always 1 or 2 seconds ahead. And this is extremely important when you're dealing with sequences. And also to enter the flow state, the zone state, and stuff like that. I think you know the rest of it. FlexLog, we will see it. So distal method consists of many things. So it's many books I have written, peer-reviewed articles. Okay, so many pages, hundreds of pages, 3 online courses, 200 apps. They don't work right now because it's been many years since I've uploaded them, and I will provide them at some point through my website, one website and coaching cards. Okay, you saw the coaching cards as well. The scientific foundations of the distal method is, of course, apart from my own scientific background and my degrees and so on and stuff like that. The unique scientific, maybe I should have called this a unique scientific foundations, is that I have interacted with many, many very important pioneers and scientists. Okay, and this is something I think I should be saying more now. Many of them, some of them are already gone, like Ericsson, which is the main influence of the distal method. Actually, 15 years ago, he proposed me to write the distal method in a phone call. So this is with Schmidt-Bleicher. I mean, I've met Ericsson and Schmidt-Bleicher and Collins live more than once. Schmidt-Bleicher and Schmidt-Bleicher more than once for sure. And I have extensively communicated with most of them. So it's not just the emails, but for example, this is an email with Schmidt-Bleicher. This is with Schmidt, you know him from the motor programs. This is from Sternberg with his concept about intelligence. This is Carl Ericsson. Actually, there are tens of emails with him. This is a bad snapshot. It should continue, but anyway. I have from 2020 anyway, or earlier, I don't know, from Harry Collins. But also, I should say that what is more important for me is my great teachers, for example, Carlos de Leon, Halis Mouzis, and Dimitris Lekas. So these are the great teachers of our time, and one should understand that you cannot replace that. I've been a student of such great teachers of humanity for decades, so you can't really replace that, no matter how you try or how many one has. Yes, I was extremely lucky. Yes, I'm trying to share this lack of mine with others. Yes, it's extremely difficult because everyone thinks they know it all because they received 1/1,000,000th of what I received, and they think that they have something great. They don't want to hear anything more. And you know how it goes, especially in the tennis world. But the tennis world is like a small caricature of the whole society. Anyway, this is Carlos de Leon. So this is an important an important updated table. So this is the parameters that I try to provide, that I recognize as important, okay? But as I've been repeating again and again, it's no use if I recognize that motor learning is important and I don't provide tools for that. Okay, so that's a contradiction or bullshit. I mean, you cannot, if I recognize that psychological skills and mental skills are important, what am I gonna do? Am I going to say to players, you should believe in yourself, you should never give up, you should try to stay calm? I mean, that's bullshit, okay? You have to have specific tools and the know-how. I have created all the tools that are with asterisks. The other ones I haven't created, like EFT or EMDR, I have adapted them for tennis. I have received these tools through hundreds of hours of seminars and being close to great teachers and learning them for myself and applying them to myself and others. Okay, so let's see a bit. So you again, because supposedly you know, if not all, most of them. Okay, I won't go into detail. So for motor learning expertise, the tools I provide is this SBML, this secondary synthetic SBLM, tennis and motor synchronization, and the I have provided the basics, but I thought I should give it as a tool. So the I stands for ideal protocol. I, edge tracking. Athletes track a ball along the edge of the visual field, not straight in the center. Train peripheral vision, smooth pursuit. Y for Y-axis shifts. Athlete alternates focus near to far to near. Train accommodation and depth perception. And I, sprints. Athlete performs rapid saccades between two or more fixed points. So this is like a holistic protocol to train the eyes. So for physical conditioning, I provide, of course, SFSB and its variations, and FlexLock, which we will see briefly in the next slide. Periodization, the two performance spirals for motor skills and physical conditioning. For biomechanics, for stroke development, I have the catapult model of stroke, the prismatic model of stroke learning. I have also a slide for this. Reference points, movement mechanism, and the idea of going from form to style. Okay, you have seen all of this. 5 sequence learning. For sequences, I provide motor words, differential self-learning, also the ideas of drill synthesis and drill structuring. For mental and psychological skills, I provide the coaching cards, emotional freedom technique, eye movement desensitization and programming, autogenic and progressive relaxation, and anchoring techniques from neurolinguistic programming. For the integration, this is a concept coming from spiritual traditions. It's not present in, apart from a very, very, very vague idea. Nobody has tools for this, and nobody understands the importance of this and how it should be integrated and implemented in practice. So for this, I provide the EMDR and the idea of basic strokes. So the idea of integration is how to integrate or to generalize, or to do both, the knowledge I have attained from a practice, a specific drill, for example, into my hitting patterns. Because we should not think that this happens automatically. So maybe I do a very good exercise like FlexLock or something from the SBML models, SFSB and whatever. But then I have to integrate that into my my technique, okay? And I have to have specific tools to do that. it will happen on its own. Many things happen on their own, of course. This is called tacit knowledge. But if I explicate it, the results are much stronger, lasting, and quicker. Okay. If you have spatial populations, for example, if you go to a physiotherapist's lab, I don't know, and you have a man, someone with disabilities, you have to do this more explicitly. So yes, he will learn to like climb one stair or two stairs because they have movement problems, okay, for example. But you have to explicitly generalize these skills so they can use it and apply it to their own stairs in their own house. It doesn't happen so automated as we are used to being healthy, but still the advantages are enormous for everybody, especially when trying or going for world-class expertise. So injury prevention and treatment, yes, this is a very important parameter. So what tools do I give? I give FlexLock and EFT. Okay. Also, one can say that because injury prevention has to do with physical conditioning, these models, SFSB and the synthetic one, are also important. Yes, of course. Okay, and you can do specific exercises to target specific problems or instabilities of joints and stuff like that. But as far as, you know, what it has the flavor of treatment of more is the FlexLock and the EFT. Usually FlexLock is so versatile, it's a whole world, okay? So the pedagogical approach I use is constructionalism and theater pedagogy. I have done, as I have told you, many years of theater pedagogy, and I have taught some seminars also in these seminars. And about professionalism, which is not an extremely well-defined concept in expertise studies, okay, but it's like the general attitude of being a professional, which doesn't exactly mean being an expert, but anyway, and ethics and expertise. Okay, so I provide role playing and the mantle of the expert from theater pedagogy. So FlexLock, I have produced a paper recently. It's been 6 months. It's still in the peer review process. In this video, it's still in the peer review process. I guess in the next few weeks it will be accepted because it's already on the 3rd round of reviewing. Yes, this is science is created. I mean, I'm saying this again and again. People say they have ideas and they are great trainers and coaches, but yes, okay, put your theories to the test, publish in peer review journals. I mean, create a system, okay, because when you have a paper going back and forth to reviewers for corrections, or it gets rejected for 1 or 2 years, then you really have to think deeply about what you're saying and how well structured it is, okay, because everybody thinks that, and this is human nature, okay, this happened to me as well 20 years ago, like, I have these great ideas, if I write them, everybody will say, wow, you're the best, let's give you the, I don't know, Nobel Prize and publish them in the best journals. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay, that's bullshitting ourselves and others. So the idea of the FlexLock comes from a very specific tradition, which is also spiritual tradition, Git Chun, which I've been practicing for quite some time now. So it does really many things. Okay, it has some specific positions. You have to know how to use them, which strain the muscles and the joints statically for long periods of time, in extreme positions. This is like a preparatory phase for plyometric. This also is a good treatment for various kinds of problems, musculoskeletal problems. It does things with the pain threshold, so it has psychological effects. It improves the stretch, shorten cycle used in movements like the ones in tennis, and many more things because it includes visualizations and movements. It synchronizes both hemispheres because it also has a moving part, not just the static part. It's a complete, great tradition which I have adapted for sports, and I call this FlexLock. And I'm trying to promote it through the digital method. So here you see me with Dusko trying to apply some concepts of FlexLock in the backhand and in the serve. So don't forget that for this, I have all these tools, and generally speaking, if you go to my website, okay, the digital method, what you will see is that I have here the tools and references. Okay, this is not an extremely updated table, okay, or graph or whatever. But what I do provide is the tools and also the papers where each tool was documented. So the idea behind the vectoral paradigm of skill development, or the spectral paradigm, which is the same almost, is that all these tools, okay, so I was asked by, for example, the president of the Greek Federation of Tennis, who understood not many things actually. I was asked, how do I teach the forehand drive, for example? And when I told him that I use some parts, this is the word that came in my mind that moment. Maybe it wasn't the best, but anyway, he understood that, yes, you do part practice, you split the movement in parts, this is what everybody does, and you think you're doing something great. So what I mean is that I have all these tools, okay, especially the two models, SBL, the two dual models, the FlexLock, the reference points, and basic strokes, and anyway, the integration things, and the catapult models, and the catapult drills, and many more. And each one creates like a vector. Okay, so it's like all these are like different influences, and from all these influences, I have a resultant vector. Okay, so it's like, yes, it's a very structured method, the digital method, but I provide structured influences, and it gives the liberty to the player to develop their own forehand. Okay, so to develop from the form their style. Okay, so this is how the forehand or any other stroke or whatever is taught in the digital method, or psychological profiles and stuff like that. So it's not like I have specific ways things are done, but rather I give different influences. In these influences, different people adapt in different ways, and we have a resultant vector from all these different influences, okay, which is like, as we say in philosophy of mind, it emerges. Okay, it's not I do it, it emerges. And I have also explained that it's not a very good idea to try and control everything, because you really cannot. But you have to be able to give proper influences. So this is the same with the spectral paradigm. Okay, it's like different rays, the different tools, and through the players, they are transformed into their own style. Okay. So more or less, this is the few things I wanted to say and to add and to connect. You will find more information in the description, and if I forgot to say anything, you will find it there. And thank you for your time.